Is this on? Blessed ones, what's up? This is Blair, your cancer care bear. No hair, don't care, all faith, no fear. And you are now in the Blair podcast. Thank you all for listening. Welcome to the vibe. I appreciate y'all. There will be no intro. And this is normal. This is something that happens on occasions. And I just want to remind y'all this is not a weekly show. This is a bi weekly, tri weekly show. And pretty much just a broadcast because sometimes I have things going on. I be tired, There's a lot of podcasts going on out here. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and I like to do things my way. I like to do podcasts when I want to. Again, thank you all for listening, for sticking with me. So I was just thinking about something. Mother's Day is coming up. And I was talking to one of my friends earlier, and he was talking about how he was spending time with his mother. And of course, some will say you only get one. I disagree, but that is neither here nor there. I just want to, pose this question. When it comes to Mother's Day, is it oversaturated? Because I notice how they don't really promote Father's Day like they do Mother's Day. Maybe because all the deadbeat dads out there. But is that like an international thing? Or is that just nationwide where they promote, Mother's Day a lot more than they do Father's? And it's just like on Valentine's Day when they have these different promotions in stores. But not saying that fathers don't get love, but not as much as mothers do. And I don't know if I necessarily have a huge issue with it, but it's just something that I think about often. And maybe because I take pride in my fatherhood and I love my father. My father was in my life, and I really just want to know, should we just be gone with these holidays altogether? Because in some ways they're all pagan. They kind of take the focus off things that are more important. You have birthdays where, of course, you're celebrating another year. But isn't it just a blessing to make it to another day? Shouldn't we celebrate, life more? I mean, not to say don't acknowledge your birthday, don't acknowledge your mother, don't acknowledge your significant other. But I think we should just be gone with all these holidays. We should just keep one, and that's birthdays. We should get rid of Christmas. We should get rid of Thanksgiving. We should get rid of Valentine's Day. Because did y'all know that there is actually a Grandparents' Day? There's actually a Parents' Day. There's, we have Veterans Day. We have President's Day. We have Labor Day, Memorial Day. All these days. But all in all, what does it truly mean? I don't have the answer. That's why I'm asking. But yeah, I really want to start off and kick off with that. Should we give Father more credit for more credit for those who are there? Because it's like we give mothers a lot of credit for doing what they're supposed to do and stepping up and going the extra mile because they're fathers. aren't around. But what do we do for the fathers out here, for all the dads like myself? Where are the where do we go to recognize us? Where do we go to recognize the stepdads? Because all in all, really, especially in today's society, you don't have to do nothing but stay black and die. Just one moment. Just one moment. Yeah, it's up, babe. I'm on the podcast. I'm on the podcast.
Oh, sorry. I was letting you know I was home.
All right. I know. I think I heard that you were home, but I'll see you when you get in. We're talking about holidays. Well, I'm talking about holidays. There's no we. It's just me.
Okay.
But all right. So that's another thing. When you're with someone, when you're in a relationship, you know, people like to check in. Figure out what's going on, what's happening, let you know that they're there, they're safe, and I respect that. I honor that. I do the same thing, and that goes on to my next point. And this is mainly to my men, fellas. You cannot be fooled by a big booty and a smile. You cannot be fooled by a woman that you are attracted to and you just are so fascinated by it. Because every woman has baggage. Because you have baggage. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to have baby mamas or baby daddies. You don't have, like, you can just be a bachelor, living your best life, living by yourself, no responsibility but your own bills. But you still have baggage. So I also want to point out this. Should we just be gone with the relationship goals? Because it's like we talk about the relationship goals, but we never talk about the relationship games, the relationship defenses and offenses. If relationship is a love game, if you look at relationships as a game, we don't talk about the pros and cons, the ups and downs. I was just recently listening to the Brilliant Idiots when they had Little Duval up there, and they was talking about how polygamy is now like polygamy is it's probably as big as a parking ticket or a speeding ticket. You will be fined, but you're not going to go to jail. It's not really necessarily that much illegal. So, what do y'all think about polygamy? Polygamous relationships? Are our morals aligned with our religion? Or is it just more so of our upbringing? Because I say this often. My grandfather, rest in peace to my grandfather Paul, he had a lot of kids. And just speaking to my aunt recently, she was only speaking for herself. He was a great dad, great father, businessman, entrepreneur, had a lot of property, houses, looked out for his children as they got older, put them to work. But hey, Papa was a Rolling Stone. I don't remember how old my grandfather was when he passed, but I do know that I have a bunch of aunts and uncles, meaning I might even have even way more cousins. So much that I don't know them all. But should we be gone with the traditional way of doing things? Because it seems like this world is actually coming to that. Society is coming to a point of where everything that we knew is wrong. Everything that we value is undermined. Everything that we hold as principles to, everything that we respect is offensive. You know, it's like everybody has a voice, everybody has a platform, which is great. But some people just really need to shut the hell up. It's that simple. And I don't want to be too long on here. I just want to send my condolences again to those people who had passed during COVID. The somebody going to the families of those who have lost loved ones to COVID, to war, to just anything. Because life is is the greatest gift. Life is a privilege, people. So we have to take it for granted. But let's not dwell in the losses, but dwell on the victories and the strength. Because if we all mourn for our lost loved ones, who's going to be there to pick us back up? I don't really want to get in a quarrel with anyone about their faith, their opinions, their views, their stance. But we have to have some type of foundation. We have to really stand strong on what we believe and really not even be like I'm an open-minded individual, but sometimes that open-mindedness can make me blind and just okay with a lot of things that I probably shouldn't be okay with. You know, I shouldn't be okay I shouldn't be okay with see what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to be careful with what we say. Because again, I don't intend on offending anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to piss anyone off. But what about my feelings? So I just want to say, a blessed farewell to anybody or anything in my life that don't bring me peace, that don't bring me clarity, that doesn't benefit me in my well-being. Because me being a family man, I am actually on the roads to a new career path. And as I continue to podcast, as I continue to create music, create sounds, different, vibes, and curate playlists, I am picking up a trade finally. It's just been a long time where, with so much that happens in my life that I just had to it's just pouring in money and money and money with nothing to show for it. I made some pretty okay investments this past year, and I want to do more. I want to be able to put more into those investments. I want to be able to get more investments. But like I said, I need to get a trade, so I'm picking up a trade, and I'm gonna be reliving. I'm gonna have the opportunity to live my college life again. You know what I'm saying? Relive it in a different way. And I will just not get into the whole details about that, but I'm gonna be. I'm going back to school, baby. So, you know, sometimes I really just wonder to myself, like, is this what we call life? Just winging it, just agreeing and accepting things. But like I said, that's why I pose these questions. When I got into podcasting a couple years ago, I didn't know where it was going to lead me. First got a podcast on Anchor. I gave that up. Got back into it. Then I decided to, get some software. You know, Start a new podcast. Put it on my SoundCloud to a podcast episode. Did like 11 episodes. Not too many views. Now we're here. Episode 24. In the Blair. And we are on streaming platforms: iHeart, Apple, Spotify, all these different streaming services. And whether I have one listener or 100 listeners or 1,000 listeners, it's a process. Like I said, when you're just a guy from a low key side of the town, just doing their thing, not a big following. If you know, you know. Sometimes it can be under level overwhelming because you're like, man, how come I can't get any views? How come I'm not, getting any getting any income from this? It's all a process of steps. I'm a patient guy. That's why I don't really complain, and I'm just very cool, laid back about everything because I understand. I know how you have to be able to know how to market, know how to sell, know how to do things. When I started doing this podcast and I decided to monetize it and get it on platforms, I was like, I know it's probably going to take some more work. Maybe I need to get a team. Maybe I need to really do more than just press and record. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do this my way. And if you listen and like it, share it. Yes, do your thing. I'm just going to get this out and put it in the universe. But all in all, blessed ones, I tell you this now. It is my great pleasure and great honor to be able to give y'all this when I do. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly, monthly, this is what I'm going to do. I enjoy it. I remember my a very close friend of mine. I was at his house, and those of you who are somewhat familiar with me know that I'm very low key, very quiet, but I do talk. And they do say I do enjoy to talk, and I should have a TED talk, and Like maybe I'll think about it. But as I said before, I have not forgotten my book, Soul Food in the Rib. It will be preparing that. Birthday coming up 34, July 14th, 21. 7 times 3. That's what it is. 7 times 3, 7 times 1, 7 times 2. I love numbers. I love math. And I decided I was going to do that. It was just a perfect day. Perfect time. But as always, stay blessed, stay positive, productive, and prosperous. And those of you who made it this far, just remember what I asked you. You will be rewarded in heaven. This is Blair, your Cancer Care Bear. I'm out.